Welcome back to another one of our videos. Today we wanted to share with you a very important lesson of how to build up your nest egg and get to your first $100,000. Charlie Munger famously said, "Find any way to get to your first $100,000, even if it means walking everywhere." So firstly, we will show why your net worth explodes after reaching your first $100,000. And afterwards, we'll provide some practical ways to grow to that number, even if you're starting from a zero investment pool. So the first reason why your net worth explodes after the first $100,000 is what is known as the scale of capital. You make more money the larger is your investment. So let's say you have $1,000 and you place it in an investment that gives you a 10% rate of return. At the end of the year, you're going to have $100 extra in your account. That's not a big amount. But let's say you had $100,000 and you invested that capital at 10%. At the end of the year, you're going to have $110,000. As a result, the larger your investment, the more money you are going to make. The second reason why your net worth explodes after making the first $100,000 is what is known as compound interest, interest on interest, also known as the eighth wonder of the world. Here we have a hypothetical example that a lot of you might be in. Let's say your initial investment that you have is zero, but you are willing to contribute $12,000 a year or about $1,000 a month into an investment that earns a conservative 6% rate of return. You are able to see that at the end of 7 years, those contributions are going to grow to about $100,000. Now, in order to go to the next $100,000, i.e. to go from $100,000 to $200,000, it'll take only about 5 years. To go from $200,000 to $300,000, it'll take 4 years. And finally, to go from $300,000 to $400,000, it'll only take 3 years. As you can see, as interest is getting added to your account, the time period in order to make the additional $100,000 return on your capital significantly decreases from 7 years to 5 years to 4 years to 3 years. And that is the power of compound interest. Now, what are some of the practical ways that you are able to reach this $100,000 mark sooner? We'll provide 3 things that you are able to do. 2 things you are in control of, and the last thing is probably out of your control. So the first thing is starting saving as soon as possible. Starting contributing to an investment account as soon as possible. And in order to do that, your expenses have to be lower than your income. Okay, so there are many ways that you are able to do that. Generating some side revenue, increasing your revenue pile, or another also important way is to reduce your expenses. Don't get those $6 or $7 Starbucks coffees. Don't pay $10 at the movies for the popcorn, and so on. Once you think about how many items you are spending on, you can possibly reduce your amount of expenses. And by reducing your amount of expenses or increasing the amount of revenues, you are going to have a larger amount of capital, and that will allow you to start saving sooner. So time in the market is a most important factor to how soon you are going to reach that $100,000 magical figure. The second factor that is important into growing to that $100,000 magical number is the amount of your contributions. In the previous example, which we just now have illustrated, it will take you about 7 years if you saved about $1,000 a month and reinvested it at 6%. However, if you double that number, if instead of saving $1,000 per month, you are saving $2,000 per month or $24,000 per year, you would get to that $100,000 in approximately 4 years. So you would be able to reduce your time period from 7 years to 4 years, and that is going to be a significant reduction. Now, time in the market and how much you're going to contribute are two factors that are within your control. These are factors that you are able to decide on. The last factor, of course, that is going to play a significant impact on how quickly your capital is going to grow is the rate of return on your investments. We know that rate of returns are outside of the control of the investor. The market is going to do what the market is going to do. Over the long term, the market compounds roughly at about 10% rate of return. However, that is not certain. Some years we get more than 10%, other years we get less than 10%. So assuming a 10% rate of return might be right in the very, very long term, but over the short term, anything can happen. So to summarize, it is critical that you get to that first $100,000 as soon as possible, as mentioned by Charlie Munger. You can do that by using some of the strategies we have mentioned in this video. If you'd like to know more about what we do, please contact us at info@advisormanageportfolios.com. We look forward to educating you further in our future videos. Till next time.